cheddar cheese, a symbol of bold and refined flavors in the world of cuisine. It's not just the perfect choice for hamburgers and sandwiches, but also an essential ingredient in a wide range of delicious dishes. Its rich, creamy texture with a hint of sweetness and saltiness makes it irresistible to everyone. In the United States, people consume over 3.3 billion pounds of cheddar cheese every year, a staggering number that reflects the endless love for this cheese. But have you ever wondered how cheddar cheese is made? Join me as we explore the unique process behind its distinctive flavor in this video. The process of making cheddar cheese is a true art form passed down through generations, with a meticulous recipe and refined techniques. From selecting the milk to the long aging process, every step requires the perfect environmental conditions. Notably, authentic cheddar cheese must be made from the milk of cows grazing within 50 kilometers of a church in Wales, England, a tradition dating back to the 19th century. The cows on these farms are carefully cared for and bred to produce milk with the perfect fat content, an essential ingredient for cheddar cheese. The cows are brought to the barn to be milked using modern hydraulic pumps, ensuring the milk meets high-quality standards. This milk, rich in protein and fat, is the critical factor in making the delicious, flavorful cheddar cheese we love. Each year, a single cow can produce over 12,000 liters of milk, providing a steady supply of raw material for production. The first step in making cheddar cheese is receiving fresh, unpasteurized milk from local farms. The milk is quickly transported to the factory in the heart of Cheddar Village every morning, with quantities reaching up to 2,000 liters a day. Before processing, the milk undergoes strict quality checks in the laboratory to ensure it meets high standards. Tests are done for freshness, acidity, and nutritional composition. Once approved, the milk is pumped into large storage tanks, where it is kept at a low temperature to maintain its freshness. Each storage tank can hold up to 31,000 gallons of milk. When the milk is ready, it's pumped from the storage tanks to the factory for pasteurization. This process takes place at 176 degrees Fahrenheit, killing harmful bacteria and microorganisms, ensuring the final cheddar cheese is completely safe. After pasteurization, the milk is cooled to the appropriate temperature, ready for the next stage of fermentation. Once the milk has been pasteurized, the next step is to add the starter culture and rennet enzyme into the 1,900-liter vat of milk. This batch of milk will be turned into 8 blocks of cheese, each weighing 25 kilograms. When the starter culture is added, the milk is heated to 89 degrees Fahrenheit, the ideal temperature for mesophilic bacteria to thrive. This step is crucial, as the bacteria ferment the lactose in the milk and produce lactic acid, which helps develop the distinctive flavor of the cheese. However, bacteria and temperature alone aren't enough. To speed up the coagulation process and transform the milk into cheese, a special catalyst is needed: the rennet enzyme. Rennet is a natural enzyme found in the stomachs of young calves. This enzyme helps coagulate the milk, turning it from a liquid to a solid mass known as curd. As the curd begins to form, it's incredibly smooth and soft. This is the curd we're referring to. The curd is cut into smaller pieces to release excess whey. The smaller the curd pieces, the more whey is expelled, which helps the cheese become firmer. Once the curd has fully set, the whey is drained off. This whey, rich in protein and amino acids, is repurposed as feed for pigs or processed into powdered milk, isotonic drinks, or custard. Next, the curd is evenly spread using paddles, and the crucial next step is the cheddaring technique. a traditional method in cheddar cheese production. The curd is cut into long blocks and stacked on top of each other. The weight of the curd blocks on top presses the whey out of the blocks below. These layers of curd are flipped and pressed multiple times over several hours, removing excess moisture and creating the chewy, firm texture typical of cheddar cheese. Then, salt is added, not just to enhance the flavor, but also to help kill off any microorganisms that could spoil the cheese. Salt also helps develop the texture, draws out moisture, and preserves the cheese. The curd continues to be cut into smaller pieces to release more moisture, gradually turning it into a young cheese. However, at this stage, the cheese is still quite moist and will need to go through additional steps to perfect its texture and flavor. Once the curd has been poured into molds, we begin the shaping process. The curd is evenly distributed in the mold, and then the cheese is pressed for 12 hours to remove excess moisture and help shape a firmer structure. The pressing process makes the cheese denser and more solid while creating its defined shape. Once the pressing is complete, the cheese is removed from the mold and submerged in a brine tank. The salt concentration in the brine ranges from 16 to 20%, enough to inhibit harmful bacteria without making the cheese too salty. The temperature in the brine tank is kept between 50 and 55 degrees Fahrenheit. During the soaking period, the salt evenly penetrates the cheese, giving it its rich, distinctive flavor and helping preserve it for long-term storage. Once the cheese has drained, the blocks are transferred to the aging area. For cheddar cheese, most is aged in natural limestone caves, where the temperature and humidity remain consistently at 98%, providing an ideal environment for aging. The cheese is wrapped in traditional muslin cotton cloth, which allows it to breathe, while protecting it from bacteria and mold. A thin layer of butter is applied to the surface to retain moisture and prevent mold growth. Cheddar cheese can be aged anywhere from a few weeks to several years, depending on the variety. During this period, the cheese is regularly turned and rotated, allowing the microorganisms and enzymes to develop evenly. The high humidity in the caves enhances the fermentation process, deepening the complexity of the cheese's flavor. The longer the cheese is aged, the richer and more intense its flavor becomes. Once the cheddar cheese has aged for the right amount of time, each wheel, weighing about 25 kilograms, is tasted to check if it's ready. If it meets the standard, the cheese is removed, cut into uniform blocks or slices, and then packaged for distribution. With its rich flavor and firm texture, cheddar cheese is one of the most versatile cheeses in the world. It's used in a wide variety of dishes, from hamburgers and pizza to baked goods, salads, and sauces. The color of cheddar cheese can vary depending on the production process and the cow's diet. Milk produced in the spring, when the grass is fresh, tends to be richer in beta-carotene, giving the cheese a deeper yellow color. Conversely, in the fall and winter, when cows primarily eat dry feed, the milk becomes lighter, resulting in a paler cheese. Thank you, and see you in the next one.